Hi, third graders. Welcome to lesson 26 in Journeys. And I'm super excited about this lesson because we are now moving into what's called our Reading Adventures magazine. So if you're on Think Central, you would go into where it says Teacher Resources and then click on Reading Adventures magazine. And that's where you can find all the lessons from 26 on up to 30. So this is actually in the format of a magazine. So it's actually got a lot of different short stories and then like a longer story. And then we have some poems and just lots of different interesting things to look at. So I'm super excited. The first short story, it's only these 2 pages. This is called Paca and the Beetle, and it's a folk tale from Brazil. So we see some beautiful pictures of animals and looks like a forest, and we can tell that that is a rainforest in Brazil, most likely. So let's get started. A beautiful red, blue, gold, and green macaw watched a brown beetle as it crawled across the jungle floor. "Where are you going, my friend?" Macaw called out. "I am going to the sea." Just then, a paca skittered by. "You?" Paca laughed. "You're so slow it will take you 100 years." Macaw looked down. "You shouldn't brag, Paca. Why don't you race him? I'll give a new coat to whoever first reaches the big tree beside the river." Paca laughed harder. "This is no race," he giggled. "You may as well give me the yellow coat and black spots of a jaguar right now." "I will race," Beetle said. "If I win, I would like a coat like yours, Macaw." Paca dashed away. Then he thought, "Why should I hurry? I am so much faster than slow Beetle. I can take my time." He smiled, thinking of the fine new coat he would soon wear. Is this story starting to remind you of anything, of another story perhaps that we've all read? When Paca neared the tree, however, he was amazed to see Beetle on a branch waiting for him. Paca gasped. "How did you get here?" he demanded. "I flew," Beetle answered with a smile. "You have wings?" Paca asked. Macaw answered, "Beetle doesn't brag about his wings, but he can use them when he needs to. Beetle is the winner." Paca hung his head and slunk away, still wearing the brown coat with white spots he had always had. Then Macaw smiled at Beetle, and Beetle's hard back began to shine with the colors of Macaw's feathers. The beetle's shell has gleamed with a rainbow of colors ever since. So if you were thinking of the tortoise and the hare, that was also the story that this reminded me of. Now, some differences with that story would be that in that story, the hare or rabbit was so confident and sure of himself, kind of like Paca in this story. But the rabbit actually took a nap, right? So he just decided, "I'm so much faster, I can just take a nap." So he just fell asleep, and then, of course, Tortoise got to the finish line ahead of him. So in this one, Paca was so sure of himself because he didn't really realize that this beetle could fly. So he, didn't really know that the beetle could fly and could beat him there. So he also took his time just like Hare. So the moral or lesson of this story seems to be not to brag, right? Because Beetle didn't brag about his wings, and he was much faster than Paca. And Paca was just very full of himself and bragging about how fast he could go and that he knew for sure he was going to win the race. But of course, as we found out, he did not win the race. And so it seems that the moral of this story is just be nice and don't brag. Pretty simple, right, guys? Okay, so now let's look at some of our graphic features that I'm seeing here. I see some beautiful pictures of our characters, it looks like, but the real ones that they're based off of. So it says we have a scarlet macaw here first, and it says scarlet macaws are found throughout South America. These spectacular birds are about 3 feet long from head to tail. Okay, and then here's Paca. The spotted paca lives in the jungles of Brazil. It weighs between 12 and 25 pounds and is the world's second largest rodent. Ooh, wow. Okay, and then I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but the Ceiba, Ceiba, borer or living jewel of Brazil, is one of the world's most beautiful insects. People use the wing covers of its shell in jewelry. That's kind of sad. But that is the beetle in our story. It's called the living jewel of Brazil. Wow, how interesting. Okay, so that is it for the first short story in our Lesson 26 magazine. And I'll do a separate video for our main story this week, which is called The Foot Race Across America. I can't wait to read that. All right, so I will see you soon.